Sinners is a story about two twins who left the streets of Chicago to come home and start over in their home of Mississippi. They had issues in Chicago, so they came back home to quote unquote deal with the devil they know. Welcome to Eyes to the Soul, which you're aware of you can control. Is sinners demonic? I say if you are new to your spiritual journey and are easily influenced and enticed by lust, this movie isn't for you. If you don't have discernment to see past the surface yet, this movie isn't for you. But if you're the type to study intently and wholeheartedly what you see, this movie touches on a lot of spiritual history within African and African American culture, which also touches on the parallel of African and Chinese culture within America during the Jim Crow era. The father and the son relationship. The father was a preacher who told his son to read 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 13 before he went out to go with his twin cousin. That verse read, "No temptation has overtaken you except what is common to mankind, and God is faithful. He will not let you be tempted beyond what you can bear. But when you are tempted, he will also provide a way out so that you can endure it." That shows me even amongst the sinning and acceptance of sinning in the juke joint, God was with Preacher Boy. Why do I say that? That very verse gets fulfilled in the conversation between Smoke and Preacher Boy. As Smoke tells Sammy the story of his father, his trials in escaping to a nearby town. His brother and him were turned away, telling him there's no way that the evil of your father did not get passed down to you. He then turned to Sammy and let him know your father is good. This life isn't for you, and it isn't worth it. Go live proper. Even trying to protect him to the point where he would make sure Preacher Boy would never play in another juke joint after that night. When Sammy disagrees, saying you might as well kill me, Smoke even pulls a gun on him, showing this life isn't for you. The Preacher Boy vampire, God-given talent, selling your soul to the devil parallel. Music, in pure form, has always been associated with the highest form of spirituality, praise and worship. When Sammy sung, it was like the past, present, and future all within that moment was watching. You could feel the scene through the way they conveyed it. His voice and the guitar, combined with the dance, evoke what was, what is, and what will be. And biblically, what was, what will be, and what always is God. As the vampire Remick sees the gift of Sammy's music, he wants to harness that for himself. Knowing possessing his gift, he can lure people to walk with him. This is extremely parallel to what we always hear about the music industry. The singer who grew up in church gets approached by the devil with promises of fame and fortune in exchange for your soul. A tale as old as time. There is no in-between. You are either singing for God or the devil. James Brown and Little Richard talking about the devil in his movie Get On Up shows you this exact conversation. The African religion practices Hoodoo. Is it demonic? Sinners touches on the historic relevance of African American spirituality. Although the film and the practice known as Hoodoo, which is a spiritual practice that is commonly used among slaves that derive from Africa. Biblically, those practice of throwing objects on the table by Annie to see the future is divination. The mojo bag with the root or spells of protection is witchcraft and spirituality. Some people believe that there could be good witches and bad witches. And practicing hoodoo doesn't mean you worship the devil. If you have the belief that you can conjure, gain insight or strength from your ancestors, that's where it gets demonic. Historically, you can also incorporate Christianity into hoodoo. For instance, if you take a Bible verse and put it in your mojo bag to protect yourself from evil, is that demonic? Well, if you think the bag is literally protecting you and not your faith in God or his word, then yes, that is demonic. Also, the Bible takes place in Asia and Africa, and I think that kind of nods to the relationship you see in this movie, which also incorporates the Bible. I don't think that's by mistake.